you ever feel like life should feel calmer by now in midlife, yet instead it feels more exhausting? Do you feel like you can't switch off even when there's no obvious reason why? And do you find yourself wondering why you feel this way when on paper your life looks fine? Now, if this sounds like you are not alone. Midlife anxiety can feel confusing because we are often still functioning, but we have a feeling of, is this it? We are still working, still caring for others, still showing up for people. We're still doing what needs to be done. From the outside, we can look capable and steady, yet inside something feels different, less settled, less certain, more on edge. And what can feel particularly unsettling, is this. The old approach of pushing through does not bring the same satisfaction as it used to. Our mind continues to stay busy. Our body does not settle as easily. And even when we rest, it does not always reset us in the way it once did. So if you have found yourself thinking, why now? Why does this feel harder when I've handled so much already? I want you to know midlife anxiety is really about just one thing. It is usually the result of a long build-up, years of responsibility, adaptation, emotional load, and a life happening fast. In this video, we are going to make sense of what midlife anxiety actually is, why it can feel more physical and more persistent now than ever before, and what genuinely helps our nervous system calm back down without you having to force it or fight it. Before we go any further, if you haven't met me, welcome back to our channel. I'm Jennifer Roblin, founder of Better Your Life. I'm an anxiety specialist and anxiety therapist, and I've helped thousands of people overcome anxiety and thrive. Here on the channel, we talk about anxiety and our mental well-being in a way that makes sense to you, and we focus on practical tools that help you feel calmer in the real life. If you want extra support, you'll find free resources linked in the description, including tools you can use straight away. So let's start with why midlife anxiety can build quietly over time. For many people, anxiety does not arrive out of nowhere. It develops alongside the life we are living, and midlife is often the point where the weight of everything we have been carrying until now becomes harder to ignore. Responsibilities rarely disappear as we age. Careers evolve, they plateau or lose meaning. Work that once felt purposeful can start to feel draining, yet stepping away can feel financially risky, emotionally risky, or simply impossible. Many of us are carrying the pressure of being relied upon while feeling less connected to ourselves. Family dynamics shift too. Children may need us in different ways, or may no longer need us in the same way at all. That can bring pride and freedom, and it can also bring grief or a strange loss of purpose that we did not necessarily expect. At the same time, our parents may be aging, becoming more dependent on us, and even passing away. That can stir up fears about our own health, mortality, and time, even if we rarely speak about those fears out loud. Some of us reach this stage with more space and less structure. Others of us feel permanently stretched, juggling competing demands with little room to rest or reflect. Either way, it can create a quiet disconnection from our own lives. And then there is the physical side of this. In midlife, sleep can become lighter and more disrupted. Energy can fluctuate. Our recovery time can shorten. And if we have been living in high gear for years, it becomes harder to bounce back when we are tired, when we feel under pressure, or when life throws another challenge at us. For many of us, hormonal changes may also play a part in both men and women with perimenopause and menopause. Even when life circumstances look stable, our body can feel different to us. You may notice hot flushes, a racing heart, night sweats, panic-like sensations, or a mind that feels foggy or overactive. When our body feels unfamiliar, the nervous system can interpret these feelings as a threat, and anxiety can feel more physical and more persistent. Now add to that mix the modern world. Everything is faster, noisier, more demanding. Information is constant. Comparison is everywhere. Expectations are high. Many of us are constantly switched on, even when we are not at work. And there is less time and space to properly switch off and reconnect with ourselves. And for many people, there is also something deeper happening in midlife that we don't always talk about. We may be having a shift in identity, a shift in our meanings, and a shift in our values. At some point, often without consciously deciding it, our internal priorities start to change. What used to motivate us does no longer motivate us in the same way. External successes can feel less satisfying. Things we once chased after can start to feel a bit flat, and we may find ourselves asking what actually matters to us anymore. That question can feel deeply unsettling, especially if we have built our lives around achievement, responsibility, meeting expectations, or being the one that holds everything together. We can look at our life and think we should feel more grateful. I've worked so hard, I have built stability, and yet inside, something feels misaligned. There is a gap between how life looks and how it feels. That gap is where anxiety often grows. Not because we are failing at life, but because we are changing. This is also why the phrase midlife crisis often misses the mark. For many people, there is no dramatic breakdown, no impulse decisions, no sudden chaos. Instead, there is a slow build-up of pressure, responsibility, internal conflict, unacknowledged loss, and a nervous system that has been on alert for too long. So let's talk about what anxiety is, because this can actually help many people feel less scared of what they are experiencing. Anxiety is not just a feeling, it is a whole mind and body response. It is our survival system. It evolved millions of years ago when humans were hunter-gatherers. Back then, danger was imminent and physical, like a predator. The body needed to react quickly. Our heart rate increased to send blood to our limbs. Our muscles tightened. Breathing sped up. Our focus narrowed. This was fight and flight doing its job. And once the threat passed, our bodies settled back down again. Now, the challenge today is that our world has changed dramatically, but our brain still runs this ancient safety system. Modern threats are rarely physical. They're things like deadlines, financial pressures, health worries, relationship stress, caring roles, and the constant stream of information coming to us. And our brain does not distinguish between a physical threat and a perceived threat. Pressure is pressure, overload is overload, uncertainty is uncertainty. To the nervous system, they all feel unsafe. So by the time we reach midlife, many of us have been living with stress for decades. We have learned to cope, to push on through, to carry on. We have normalised being in a heightened state of alert. Over time, that can make the nervous system more sensitive to threat and slower to relax. A helpful way to think about anxiety is like a smoke alarm. So a smoke alarm exists to keep us safe. When there is a real fire, we want it to be loud and clear. Anxiety is similar. It alerts us to potential danger. But the issue is when the smoke alarm becomes too sensitive. After years of activation, it may start reacting to burnt toast instead of a fire. So the question becomes less what is wrong with me and more how do I help my nervous system stop over-responding. If you are finding this helpful, please do go ahead and like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with all of our latest videos and resources on anxiety and our mental well-being. Now, how does midlife anxiety actually show up? It can show up in the mind as overthinking, looping thoughts, replaying conversations, future worrying, planning endlessly, or laying awake at night with a busy mind. It can show up in the body as tightness in the chest or shoulders, changes in our breathing, digestive discomfort, headaches, muscle aches, sweating, restlessness, or disrupted sleep. It can show up emotionally as irritability, tearfulness, guilt, or a sense of disconnection. Many people also feel frustrated with themselves for not feeling more grateful of their life or more in control of it. And it can show up in our behaviour. Maybe we find ourselves avoiding situations, we're over preparing, we have perfectionism tendencies, or even procrastination. We're seeking reassurance, staying constantly busy, we're over functioning. These behaviours are not character flaws, they are coping strategies. They are attempts that we put in place to feel safe. In the short term, they can reduce anxiety. However, over time, they keep the cycle going. So what genuinely does help? I'm going to share 8 nervous system calming strategies that you can try at home. Now, they're not about forcing anxiety away. They are about reducing the load on our nervous system so our body has the opportunity to settle. And just a quick note, if your symptoms are new, intense or worrying, it is always responsible to speak with a GP or qualified health professional to rule out any medical causes. So let's get into the strategies. Strategy 1, support your body to feel safer in the moment. When anxiety spikes, it feels urgent because the body believes there is an imminent threat. One of the most helpful things that we can do is send a signal of safety to our body. Try lengthening your out breath. You do not need a complicated breathing pattern at the moment. Simply breathe in gently and breathe out a little longer than you breathed in. You can do this anywhere and it helps slow the nervous system down. Strategy number 2, ground yourself in the present moment. When anxiety is high, the mind races into the future. Bring yourself back into the present, into the here and now. Recognise how it feels to have your feet on the floor. Notice the support of the chair beneath you. You may wish to name 5 things that you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. This helps your nervous system register that you are safe and in the moment. Strategy number 3, give your thoughts somewhere to go. Trying to stop thoughts usually makes them louder. Instead, write them down. You can download our Anxious Thoughts Diary to help you with this. The link is over in the description along with several other resources. Get the looping thoughts out of your head and onto paper. You do not need to solve them right now. You're creating a space between you and the anxious story so it stops feeling like it is taking over everything. Strategy number 4, release tension that has nowhere to go. Anxiety carries energy in the body. If that energy is not released, it becomes tightness, restlessness, and feeling of being on edge. Gentle movement helps complete the stress cycle. You can walk, stretch, roll your shoulders, shake your hands out, move in a way that helps your body discharge what it's holding on to. Strategy number 5, use your voice to calm your nervous system. This one surprises people. However, slow humming to your favourite tune can stimulate the vagus nerve and support regulation. You can do this in the car, in the shower, on a walk. It gives your system a cue that you are safe enough to soften. Strategy number 6, use temperature to interrupt the spiral. If you're feeling stuck in fight or flight, a simple temperature shift can help. Splash cold water on your face or your wrists. Hold something cold in your hands. Step outside for some fresh air. This can help your system reset and break the momentum of escalation. Number 7, notice the anxiety-driven behaviour and gently interrupt it. Ask yourself, what am I doing right now to feel safe? Am I over-checking? Am I over-preparing, avoiding, replaying, seeking reassurance? Just notice this with curiosity as this reduces self-criticism and gives you choice. You don't need to stop everything at once. You are simply creating awareness and softening the automatic pattern. Strategy number 8, create a small moment of alignment and meaning. Midlife often links back to what matters now. So even small moments that feel aligned with who you are becoming can harm the system. Time in nature, meaningful conversations, creativity, stillness that is not needing to be productive, a boundary that protects your energy, a decision that honours what you need. These are not selfish, they are regulation. They help your nervous system feel less on guard. And if you want to get started straight away, choose the next step that feels doable today. If you're feeling overwhelmed and your mind is busy, start with the Anxious Thoughts Diary workbook. And if you feel stuck in your head and want to take back control, start with the Circle of Control and Influence workbook. It helps you separate what you can control from what you can't, and it reduces mental overwhelm very quickly. Both are available in the description and come with full instructions. Now, if you are finding this helpful so far, please do take a second to like this video, subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell. We don't want you missing any of our practical tools that we release every week. Now, let's talk about the deeper level. These strategies given today support your nervous system and they can reduce anxiety intensity. But if anxiety has been present for a long time, or if it feels deeply embedded in both your mind and your body, it often means something important has been out of balance for a while. When anxiety persists, it begins to shape daily life. It affects how we sleep, how we think, how we behave, how we show up in relationships, and how much energy we have to cope. Many people reach this point after months or even years of trying to manage quietly, hoping it will settle on its own. And if you're recognising patterns such as withdrawing, overthinking, avoiding connection, or feeling disconnected, it is often because continuing to struggle alone is no longer working. That is a point where change becomes necessary. If you would like further support, you can book a free, no obligation consultation call. The link is below and in the description. It's a chance to talk through any questions you may have, any thoughts you've got, and explore what support might be right for you in this moment. Because with understanding the right support and a pace that respects where you are right now, it is possible to feel steadier, clearer, and feel more like yourself again. You don't need to struggle alone. Now is the right time to take back control of your life and free yourself from those anxious thoughts. Thank you for watching and see you on the next video. Bye for now.